Tire collection at city landfills. We have a change in policy there, I think, and probably from landfill to private providers.
Yeah, we have the province a while ago changed the legislation so that landfill sites don't have to receive tires any longer if they choose not to. Dealers who sell tires are anybody who sells a tire, as part of their business, is obligated to take tires back as a trade or when somebody's done with them. And there's a certain number. You can't bring 100 tires to your local dealership and say, here, take them all. But for instance, if you're getting 4 new tires and you have 4 old tires, they're obligated to take those tires as a dealer, manufacturer responsibility for recycling of tires. So right now, the municipality has been accepting tires at our landfill site, and in some cases, many, many, many tires. So we're getting to the point where we're struggling to get those tires recycled at a cost to the general taxpayer, obviously. So we've got a policy coming forward that looks like we're going to look at a change to be more in line with the provincial policy, which is, we're going to stop over a period of time. We're going to start phasing out the ability for people to bring used tires to our landfill sites. And we're going to give them a list of local dealerships, across the city of Kawartha Lakes that are eligible to receive these tires. And my understanding is they're not allowed to refuse them. And then as part of that dealer responsibility, owner, producer responsibility for recyclable materials, they'll be responsible for, keeping them out of landfill sites and getting them recycled and off to the proper disposal. So it's just a change. It's just something that's coming. It'll be of interest to quite a few people. Don't put your tires in the ditch. It's unfortunately, when we change a policy, we're a little bit nervous about saying somebody brings it to the landfill, you can't accept them here, you have to take them here. They're just going to dump them in the ditch. And 99% of our responsible citizens obviously wouldn't do that, but unfortunately we've had it in the past, and we will, we'll obviously have to go and pick them up at a cost to our ratepayers if that's the case. But that's just why we're going to phase it in over time. I don't know the exact time frame we're going to do it. That'll be rolled out in communications. But we're going to let people know that there are alternatives to the landfill site. There's always going to be a place you can take your used tires. And hopefully there'll be a bit of a transition. But again, it's change. It's something different for people. So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for some.
I think it would be a lot easier, though, to be able to choose from a number of different dealers rather than just one dump site.
Yeah, there's different issues and different reasons, right? I mean, some have rims on them and they become a real challenge to separate. When somebody has to separate them from the rim, there's a cost to that. Some are just tires that can automatically be sent for recycling or reusable, whatever they do with them when they break them down. But, it's going to just be an alternative location that people can take to. And like I say, hopefully over that transition time that it seems to make a lot of sense. And that's the way the province has been going for quite a while. So we're just sort of catching up on that one.
Kirkfield, its Centennial Park, its signature park, it's had some rate increases proposed. And I know there's been some pushback from residents.
Yeah, there has. We sometimes hear from residents when we make some of these decisions, and that's a good thing. I mean, it means people are engaged, and you know what? In this case, I think they have some valid concerns. Our Centennial Park is a large campsite we have up in the Kirkfield area. It's our only campground that the municipality runs. I believe it's got 300 and some sites. It's a nice, large, boat launch parks. It's a beautiful location. And it's been there for quite a while. And, we're trying to make our rates more competitive. The Ontario Parks Association has been asking us to adjust some of our rates to sort of keep them in line with other parks. But this is it's not just a rate increase for the people that are camping. It's overnight visitor, putting some restrictions on overnight visitors, requiring people to buy an extra parking pass, requiring people, if they want to have overnight visitors, are going to have to buy a guest pass for a year, $360 or some dollars for a whole year. Some of the questions coming back are, if I only have a guest one night, do I have to buy a pass for the whole year? And, I think we've got the right intent where, it's as usual, some of the residents, some of the campers are making it tough for all the other campers. Many people go up there and just want to enjoy a nice quiet weekend. We've had campers up there that, you know, have had 10 or 15 people staying overnight at their campsite, disturbing others. So we're going to have, starting with 24-hour security, we're going to just change it and try to make it a little bit more of a family-friendly campsite. So we're trying to put some of these initiatives in place to make it so, but I think we need to make some adjustments to them. So we've agreed to bring it back to council. We're going to have a discussion about, you know, all their alternatives. I mean, if somebody has to buy an overnight guest pass, can they buy it for a one night? Can they buy a weekly pass or a monthly pass instead of buying it just a yearly pass or nothing? If they have two cars and their one car comes with their campsite and they have a second vehicle, do they have to buy a visitor pass for that second vehicle if it belongs to the wife? You know, sometimes the man and the wife are working in Toronto and they come up in separate vehicles. So maybe the two can be, you know, to go with the campsite, and then anybody else who comes has to buy. So I think we've got the right idea. We've got the right intent to try and make that a little bit more control over the campsite and some of the residents. But I think overall we need to have a look at it and just say, you know, there's going to be a few options. So some of the residents got notification of this recently, and some of them are pushing back with some concerns. And yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say rightly so. So I think we've got the right idea. We just need to make a few adjustments, and then it'll be good for everybody moving forward. It's a great campsite that we have up in the area. It's beautiful. Most of the people that are there enjoy it tremendously. It's a lot of infrastructure that we have to maintain, and we're certainly not trying to be the most expensive campground, you know, in the province. We don't want to be the cheapest campground either. I mean, you know, whatever isn't covered by the rates is covered by the taxpayer, you know, and there's always the argument, is a campground really a core asset or a primary service delivery of the municipality? So the more competitive we can make it, the more cost recovery we can make that campsite, you know, I think the better for everybody. We have it, we do a good job with it. We can improve in some of the things we do, and we're just going to have to charge a little bit more for other things. We just need to find that sort of sweet spot that works for everybody. We'll get there.